Hey everybody, what's going on? This is your host, Dr. Jeff C. May, and welcome to another episode of Doctor's Orders, advice you should actually take, and we have a great show for you today. I've often found that great shows are inspired by what in the double truck moments in life, and once again, the year 2022 does not disappoint at all with a what in the truck moment. And what I'm talking about, you guys, is that, and granted, if anybody in the federal government is listening, which you probably are, like, you guys ever wonder that, your Alexa, your Siri, everybody, they're always listening. They're always listening. So for those of you in the federal government listening right now, since I do technically have more distribution on Spotify than Neil Young, just saying, for those of you guys listening, is that I'll buy my own crack pipe. So thanks for the gesture. I will buy my own crack pipe. Now, before everybody goes off and gets mad and those things, most of you guys have probably seen that our government is wanting to fund safer smoking kits. And some people on the right went way overboard and they're like, hey, he's funding crack and meth pipes to underprivileged communities. Some people way on the left say, no, it's not crack pipes. You got it wrong. You're idiots. And the infighting continues, okay? Now, whatever side of the fence you're on, welcome to the show. It doesn't matter to me. I will tell you that the fact that someone is saying, hey, a safe smoking kit, they're absolutely off their rocker. They're absolutely off their rocker. Never in my 14 years of healthcare would I ever think, hey, you know what? We've got a safer smoking kit for you. Safer than what? Like, let me know the side effects of that. Can we even put safer? Technically, right? I mean, you go down the line and you're like, well, Advil's safer than morphine. Okay, so what are we doing? We're playing the at least game. The at least game. Now, this actually, the other day, hit me hard. Are you going to be one of those people that says, well, at least I didn't smoke a gram of heroin today? Do not be an at least person. At least I didn't, kill anybody today. At least, like, if you start playing the at least game, you're already trying to justify, something that should not be in your life. So this whole idea of a safe smoking kit, you can actually stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Like, that's where I think a safe smoking kit would mean to go. I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments on that. Either way with that. But what I do want to talk about is actually health. Because this is something where I think a lot of people that have degrees in FaceTime on TV and those things, they play a doctor on TV, but they're literally just playing a doctor on TV. I'm sitting here going through 14 years in healthcare, being a chiropractor, building a healthcare center where we work on many, many different things. Over 500,000 face-to-face patient visits. I've got a lot of experience. And I kind of woke up the other day saying, you know what? Why am I not talking more about this? Not to make me important, but the fact of the matter is that if we in life don't speak from our experience and speak from areas that we live, we're really shortchanging the next generation. So I'm sitting here, got fired up yesterday about safer smoking kits, crack pipes to homeless, all these wherever it may fall, and say, why are we still talking about this? Why aren't we talking about actually programs that say, hey, I wonder what 29 billion or 30 million or whatever of taxpayer dollars. So you're welcome. Technically, I feel like I'm part of a crime. I feel like I've bought paraphernalia for people. Like, I don't feel good about that. What if our taxpayer dollars went actually to getting people moving, getting people putting good nutrition in their body, getting back to genetically what actually produces health, and not just pacify some sick addiction that destroys lives? And my empathy goes out to people that are addicted. I'm addicted to things in my life. I think most people are, whether you want to admit it or not. So it's not like I'm coming from a throne looking down on people at all. I'm coming from a place where toe to toe, knee to knee. I had patients drive over 2 hours one way this week and now are on a feeding tube. I had a couple drive up from Iowa 3 hours. And they're seeking help. We have multiple people every week drive well over an hour to our office, not because that I'm so cool or I'm so great. My team is, maybe they come to see the team. That could be a very real possibility. But the fact remains is that we're sitting here standing up to the bull crap and pointing people towards a real direction in health. Some of you may have seen the story on our Facebook. I was out over the weekend and I took the dog for a walk. It was a balmy 19 degrees. And so I'm like, hey, we're going to hit the trail. We did a little jogging through the snow, did a little walking. And then I was reminiscing about a story where we had an individual in our office who told me I was killing people because I didn't get the Fauci ouchie. And so I just kind of let him go. And, in conversations, if you let people go long enough and they really have no foundation to stand on, eventually they're going to trip themselves up. I've just found that out a lot of times. So I just let him go. And I said, hey, you know what? He's got his opinion no matter what he thinks about me. My mom still loves me. Shout out to my mom, if you guys know what I mean. But he sit there and says, you're just killing people. And I thought, well, maybe one of the first questions you should ask yourself is, what's our personal health experience? I'll put my health up against yours any day of the week. I'm here to help you, but now you've kind of crossed the line and told me I'm killing people. So I'm going to take defense to that for sure. And my next follow-up question is like, well, why wouldn't you want to ask if I've actually had the beer virus? What if I've actually had the beer virus? What if my natural immunity is sitting here trumping everything under the sun? And I'm fortunate. I feel grateful for it. But those are the questions that we encounter. And so now people get all hyped up about that. And people are still arguing about those things. But I will still tell you, whether you get the Fauci ouchie or not, whether you want to do 18 million boosters, whatever you want to do, let's not forget the fact that there's things you can actually do for your health that make a difference. And getting a safe smoking kit is not one of them. And so that's why I want to encourage you guys, if you want to check something out, go to 5dayresetchallenge.com. So it's 5dayresetchallenge.com. This is a shameless plug for you guys watching on Instagram Live, listening on the podcast, or watching on Facebook Live. I put together the top 5 things that are free. So for the people in the back, yes, the top 5 things you can implement in your life right now that are free. So go to 5dayresetchallenge.com, sign up for the challenge. And for 5 straight days, I believe we're doing it the 21st through the 26th. It's a Monday through Friday. They'll be recorded. They'll do all those things. I'm going to post these masterclasses that I'm doing in a private Facebook group. Okay. Along with that, when you sign up, I believe you're going to get 10 junk foods or 10 health foods or 10 foods that are labeled as healthy that are actually junk foods that will automatically get sent to you guys for free, and all these things. But I sat back in it, and amongst all these things of someone telling me I'm killing people, and now we've got safer smoking kits going out, which is total just hogwash and baloney, as well as things that actually produce health. I had 2 choices. I could sit there and I could join all the other crazies on Twitter and pipe off and just get upset and do all these things, or I could actually put together something that is going to help people. And that's what I'm going to double down on. And I know some people today just don't want to do it. That's okay. If it's not for you, it's not for you. It's nothing. I have nothing to gain or lose through this. Actually, I do have a lot to gain. It's called my purpose. Let's be real. This is what I love to do and help people. So what's up, everybody on Instagram? And Facebook, I just want to say hi. Thanks for watching. And those of you guys listen on Apple iTunes, and Spotify, I appreciate all of you. And it's those people who are listening that every week we get to hear people come in and say, hey, I've been watching your content. I've been seeing your videos. Thank you for what you do. And we got to start shifting people back towards real health. And I think that's what it comes down to is I could either sit and complain and whine and be a whiner. You'll hear me talk about a lot winning over whining. And the 5dayresetchallenge.com is one of the ways that I personally was going to get back to winning, because I found myself whining about things that are going on and all of these things. So like I said, I could either, continue to whine about it and be part of the problem, or I could figure out how to be part of the solution. And thus the 5dayresetchallenge.com challenge is coming up. So it's going to be 5 days, 5 masterclasses. I'm going to go over the top 5 things you can do right now that are free, that you can put in your life that will actually make a health benefit. Not getting a safe smoking kit from the government is going to do anything for your health. It will not. There is no such thing as a safe smoking kit. Safer, you want to argue that all day long, I guarantee I'll put my health stats against yours. So that's going to be the big thing today, you guys. I want you coming out of this doctor's orders saying, hey, what is it? What area in my life do I want to make the change? Here's the beautiful part. You right now as a human being are listening to this on some platform somewhere, and you have the ability to create things in your life. Not out, sometimes we do things out of need, out of necessity, But for the most part, if you're listening to this, you've got your basic needs met. Food, clothing, shelter. You got that covered. Be grateful. Thank God, because there's a lot of people in the world that don't. The second part to this is saying you now have the ability to create the life that you want. And I'm not going airy-fairy. You just sit and think about it in the old school. What was it? The Secret? If you're like, oh, I want a wheel of cheese. And if I just think if there's a wheel of cheese, and I'm always going to sit and think there's a wheel of cheese in the refrigerator and it's going to show up. I'm not talking about that. And then my mind immediately goes to Anchorman, I believe, when he's like, the dog ate the entire wheel of cheese. Some of you right now in your head are thinking, I'm not even mad, I'm impressed. But as I digress, but I want to get back to you guys doing something that actually matters, and you can create that in your life, and that's a pretty powerful thing. So I'm going to wrap this show. One more shameless plug. Go to 5dayresetchallenge.com if you want to tune into the 5 masterclasses that are actually going to change your life. And I know because these are 5 things I've implemented in my life, and I'm teaching my own children this. So if I wasn't teaching my children this, that might tip you off. It might not be that important. So I want to encourage you guys, sign up for the challenge, sit back and kind of do some thinking today on what area of my life do I want to create some positive change? And then I recommend you do it, because no one's stopping you but you. So thanks you guys for listening. And those are your doctor's orders, advice you should actually take.